Shalom, my friends. Today, I am going to share with you a sacred Hebrew prayer, a 5-minute spiritual technology that has the power to unlock miracles in your life. I'm not talking about small coincidences. I'm talking about reality-bending, impossible-seeming events that defy logic. By the end of this video, you will know not just the words of this prayer, but the consciousness behind it, and you will have a practical method to use it to manifest healing, prosperity, and breakthroughs. First, let me ask you, what is the one miracle you are praying for right now? Is it a financial miracle? A healing in your body? The restoration of a relationship? Comment below and declare the miracle you are ready to receive. I'm on a mission to reach 50,000 subscribers so I can spread this timeless wisdom about wealth, faith, and legacy to even more people. If you believe this wisdom should be shared, please hit that subscribe button and join this growing community of modern thinkers and future millionaires. And if you want to go deeper to get exclusive content, early access to videos, and inner circle teachings, become a channel member by clicking the Join button below. Now, let's talk about miracles. Most people think of miracles as rare, unpredictable acts of God that we are powerless to influence. We pray, we hope, we beg, and maybe, if we're lucky, a miracle happens. This is a fundamental misunderstanding of how the universe works. The Kabbalah, the ancient book of Jewish mysticism, teaches that the universe is not a fixed, solid reality. It is a dynamic, fluid system of energy and consciousness, and it can be influenced. Miracles are not a violation of the laws of nature. They are an activation of a higher law, a spiritual law that supersedes the physical. The secret to activating this higher law is not begging, but connecting. It's not about convincing God to intervene. It's about using the spiritual tools He created to align your reality with His will. And one of the most powerful tools ever given to mankind is a 42-word prayer known as the Ana B'Koach. This prayer is not just a collection of words, it is a code, a spiritual technology. The 42 words are an acronym that forms one of the 72 hidden names of God. The Zohar, the foundational text of Kabbalah, teaches that these 42 letters were the instrument of creation itself. When you recite this prayer with the correct intention, you are tapping into the very force that brought the universe into being. You are aligning yourself with the power that creates worlds. This is the power Moses used at the Red Sea. When the Israelites were trapped, with the sea in front of them and Pharaoh's army behind them, God said to Moses, "Why are you crying out to me? Lift up your staff and stretch out your hand over the sea and divide it." Moses didn't just beg. He used a tool, his staff, and took an action. The Kabbalists teach that in that moment, Moses was meditating on the power of the Ana B'Koach, using this spiritual technology to bend the laws of nature. So, what is this prayer? It is composed of 7 lines with 6 words in each line. Each line corresponds to a day of the week, a specific angelic energy, and a different aspect of your being. When you recite all 7 lines, you are creating a complete circuit of spiritual energy, purifying your soul and opening the channels for miracles to flow. Here is the prayer in Hebrew and in English. Line 1. Ana B'Koach, Gedulat Yamincha, Tatir Tzurura. We beg you, with the strength and greatness of your right arm, untie our bundled sins. Line 2. Kabel Rinat, Amha Sagvenu, Taharenu Norah. Accept your nation's song. Exalt us. Purify us, O Awesome One. Line 3. Na Gibor. Dorshe Yichudcha. Kavavat Shamraim. Please, O Hero, guard those who seek your oneness as the apple of your eye. Line 4. Barchem Taharem. Rachamei Tzidkatcha. Tamid Gamleim. Bless them. Purify them. Have mercy upon them. Grant them your righteousness always. Line 5. Kasin Kadosh, Berov Tuvcha, Nahel Adatecha. Powerful, Holy One, in your abundant goodness, guide your congregation. Line 6. Yachid Ge'eh, La'amcha Paneh, Zochrei Kedushatecha. Unique, exalted one, turn to your nation, who are mindful of your holiness. Line 7. Shavatenu Kabel, Ushma Tza'akatenu, Yodea Ta'alumot. Accept our outcry and hear our cry, O knower of secrets. And after the 7th line, you whisper the declaration, Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Blessed is the name of his glorious kingdom forever and ever. Now, I know this seems complex, but the power is not in memorizing the words perfectly. The power is in the kavana, the intention, the consciousness you bring to it. Let me tell you a story about a woman I'll call Leah. Leah was diagnosed with an aggressive, incurable illness. The doctors gave her 6 months to live. She was devastated. She prayed, she begged, she cried. But her condition only worsened. She felt hopeless, like God had abandoned her. She came to me, and I taught her the Ana B'Koach. I told her, Leah, stop begging for a miracle. Start creating one. For the next 40 days, I want you to perform this 5-minute ritual every single day. This was the ritual. Minute 1, stillness. Sit in silence. Breathe. Let go of the fear, the diagnosis, the doctor's words. Create a space of pure potential. Minute 2, recitation. Slowly recite the Ana B'Koach out loud. Don't worry if you can't pronounce the Hebrew perfectly. The energy is in the letters, not your pronunciation. Read the English translation. Understand what you are asking for. Untying, purifying, guarding, blessing. Minute 3, meditation. Each day of the week, focus on one line. On Sunday, line 1. On Monday, line 2, and so on. Meditate on the meaning of that specific line. For Leah, on the first day, she focused on untie our bundled sins. She visualized the illness as a knot of negative energy in her body, and she saw the hand of God gently untying it, releasing it, letting it dissolve into light. Minute 4, visualization of the miracle. After meditating on the line, she would spend a full minute visualizing her miracle as already complete. She didn't see herself getting healthy. She saw herself being healthy. She saw herself running on the beach with her grandchildren. She saw herself dancing at a family wedding. She saw her next doctor's appointment, with the doctor looking at her scans in disbelief, saying, "It's a miracle. The illness is gone." Minute 5. Gratitude and release. In the final minute, she would flood her heart with gratitude. Not gratitude for the miracle she hoped for, but gratitude for the miracle she had already received in the spiritual realm. She would say, "Thank you, God, for my perfect health. Thank you for my strong body. Thank you for my long life." And then she would release it, trusting that the spiritual technology was at work. Leah did this every day, for 5 minutes. It was not easy. Some days the fear was overwhelming. Some days the pain was intense. But she persisted. She chose to command her inner world even when her outer world was falling apart. After 40 days, she went back to the doctor for new scans. The doctor came into the room, his face pale. He looked at Leah, then back at the scans. He said, "I don't know how to explain this. I've never seen anything like it. The illness, it's completely gone. There is no trace of it in your body." Leah just smiled. She knew what had happened. She hadn't been lucky. She had been powerful. She hadn't received a random miracle. She had created one. This is the power of the Ana Bekoach. It is a tool for aligning your personal will with the divine will. It is a code that restructures reality at the quantum level. Now let's break down the practical application for you. You may not be facing a life-threatening illness. Maybe your miracle is financial. Maybe it's relational. The principle is the same. The 5-minute miracle ritual. 1. Find a quiet space. This is a sacred practice. Treat it with reverence. 2. Minute 1. Stillness. Close your eyes. Take 3 deep breaths. Inhale peace, exhale chaos. Create a blank canvas. 3. Minute 2. Recitation. Read the 7 lines of the Ana Bekoach out loud. Let the sacred vibrations of the Hebrew fill the room, even if you stumble over the words. Read the English to connect your mind to the meaning. 4. Minute 3. Meditation. Identify which day of the week it is. Sunday is day 1, Monday is day 2, etc. Saturday is day 7. Focus on the corresponding line. If you need a financial breakthrough and it's Tuesday, day 3, you would meditate on Na Gibor Dosha'i Yichudcha Kevavat Shamreim. Please, O hero, guard those who seek your oneness as the apple of your eye. You would feel God's heroic strength guarding your finances, protecting your investments, watching over your business like the apple of his eye. Visualization. See your financial miracle as done. See the email with the job offer. See the bank account with the extra zeros. See the sold sign on the house. Feel the feeling of relief, of joy, of security. Your feeling is the prayer that God always answers. Gratitude and release. Thank God for the miracle that is already yours in the spiritual realm. Then, let it go. Go about your day with the quiet confidence of someone whose breakthrough is already on its way. Act as if it is done. I know there are skeptics. Rabbi, this sounds like superstition. like you're just saying magic words. Let me be clear. The words themselves have no power without your consciousness. A loaded gun is just a piece of metal until someone pulls the trigger. The Ana B'Koach is a loaded spiritual weapon. But your faith, your intention, and your visualization are what pull the trigger. This is not superstition. It is spiritual physics. The Torah teaches, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. Your thoughts, your emotions, your beliefs, they are not just happening inside your head. They are energetic frequencies that you are constantly broadcasting into the universe. The universe, in turn, reflects that energy back to you in the form of your life circumstances. When you are in a state of fear, worry, and doubt, you are broadcasting a frequency of lack, and the universe has no choice but to give you more things to worry about. But when you use a tool like the Ana B'Koach to intentionally shift your frequency to one of faith, gratitude, and trust, you become a vibrational match for miracles. The universe has no choice but to rearrange itself to match your new signal. This is the secret. You are not begging a distant God to change your circumstances. You are partnering with an ever-present God to change your consciousness, and as a result, your circumstances must change. So I invite you to take on a 7-day challenge, just 7 days, 5 minutes a day. Each day, perform the 5-minute ritual. Each day, focus on the corresponding line of the prayer. And each day, look for evidence of a small miracle. A parking spot that opens up. A check in the mail you didn't expect. A kind word from a stranger. A new idea for your business. Start small. Build your faith. Prove to yourself that this technology works. As you see the small miracles, your faith will grow to believe for the big ones. Do not let the simplicity of this practice fool you. The most profound truths are always simple. The power that created the cosmos is accessible to you, right here, right now, through the sacred technology of this prayer. Stop begging for miracles. Start creating them. Shalom. And may you use this key to unlock the miraculous life that is your birthright. Now let me share with you 3 more powerful stories of people who have used the Ana B'Koach to create miracles in their lives. These are not fairy tales. These are real people with real struggles who used this spiritual technology to bend reality. Story number 1. The business owner who was bankrupt. I met a man named Aaron who owned a small manufacturing business. The economy had turned, his biggest client had left, and he was on the verge of bankruptcy. He had $200,000 in debt and no way to pay it. He was about to lose his business, his house, and his reputation. He was in despair. I taught him the Ana B'Koach and the 5-minute ritual. I told him, Aaron, for the next 40 days, you must do this practice every single morning before you go to work. You must create the miracle in the spiritual realm before it can manifest in the physical. Aaron was skeptical, but he was also desperate. He committed to the practice. Every morning, he would recite the prayer, meditate on the line of the day, and visualize his business thriving. He would see orders coming in, clients calling, checks arriving. He would feel the relief, the joy, the gratitude. For the first 3 weeks, nothing changed in the physical world. His debt was still there, the clients still hadn't returned. But something was changing in Aaron. He felt stronger. He felt more creative. He felt a quiet confidence that he couldn't explain. In the fourth week, he had an idea. It came to him during his morning meditation. He realized he had been trying to get his old clients back. But what if he pivoted his business to serve a completely different market? He did some research and discovered a niche that desperately needed his product. He made a few calls. Within 2 weeks, he had 3 new clients. Within 2 months, he had more orders than he could handle. Within 6 months, he had paid off half his debt. Within a year, he was completely debt-free and more profitable than he had ever been. Aaron told me, "Rabbi, the Ana B'Koach didn't magically erase my debt, but it gave me the clarity, the courage, and the creativity to find a solution I couldn't see before. It opened my eyes to a miracle that was waiting for me." Story number 2. The Woman Who Wanted a Child. I counseled a woman named Miriam who had been trying to have a baby for 7 years. She had been to every doctor, tried every treatment, and nothing had worked. She was heartbroken. She felt like her body had failed her, like God had forgotten her. I taught her the Ana B'Koach. I told her, "Miriam, this is not just a prayer for money or success. This is a prayer for any miracle. For the next 40 days, I want you to focus on line 2. Accept your nation's song. Exalt us. Purify us, O awesome one. I want you to meditate on purification and exaltation. I want you to visualize your body as a holy vessel, purified and ready to receive the miracle of life." Miriam did the practice faithfully. Every day she would recite the prayer and meditate on her body being purified, on her womb being blessed, on a child growing within her. She would thank God for the baby that was already hers in the spiritual realm. After 40 days, she went to the doctor for a routine checkup. The doctor ran some tests and came back with a stunned look on his face. "Miriam," he said, "I don't know how to explain this, but you're pregnant. And based on the tests, you conceived about 40 days ago." Miriam wept. She had created her miracle. Story number 3. The Young Man Who Wanted to Find His Purpose. A young man named Joshua came to me. He was 25 years old, smart, talented, but completely lost. He had graduated from college but had no idea what to do with his life. He had tried several jobs and hated them all. He felt like he was wasting his life, but he didn't know what his purpose was. I taught him the Ana B'Koach and told him to focus on line 5. "Powerful Holy One, in your abundant goodness, guide your congregation." I told him, "Joshua, you're asking for guidance. You are asking God to show you your path. Do this practice for 30 days and trust that the answer will come." Joshua committed. Every morning, he would recite the prayer and meditate on being guided. He would ask, "God, show me my path, lead me to my purpose," and then he would go about his day with an open heart and open eyes, looking for signs, for nudges, for divine guidance. On the 21st day, he was in a coffee shop, and he overheard a conversation at the next table. 2 people were talking about a non-profit organization that was helping underprivileged kids learn coding and technology skills. Something in Joshua's heart leaped. He felt a pull, a knowing. He went over and introduced himself, asked about the organization, and volunteered to help. Within a month, he was working full-time for the non-profit. Within a year, he was leading the program. He had found his purpose. He was using his skills to change lives. He was fulfilled in a way he had never been before. Joshua told me, "Rabbi, the Ana B'Koach didn't tell me what my purpose was, but it opened my ears to hear the answer when it came. It made me sensitive to the guidance that was always there, but I was too distracted to notice. The deeper Kabbalistic wisdom of the Ana B'Koach. Now, for those of you who want to go even deeper, let me share some Kabbalistic wisdom about why this prayer is so powerful. The Kabbalah teaches that the universe was created through combinations of Hebrew letters. Each letter is not just a symbol, it is a channel of divine energy. When you speak Hebrew, especially in prayer, you're not just making sounds, you're activating spiritual frequencies. The 42 letters of the Ana B'Koach are said to be one of the most powerful combinations of letters in existence. The Zohar teaches that these 42 letters were used by Moses to split the Red Sea. They are a key that unlocks the gates between the spiritual and physical worlds. When you recite this prayer, you're not begging God to do something. You are activating a spiritual technology that God Himself embedded into the fabric of creation. You are using the same tool that the Creator used to bring the world into being. This is why it works. This is why miracles happen. But here's the key. The tool only works if you use it correctly. You must bring intention. You must bring faith. You must bring action. The Ana B'Koach is like a key, but you must insert it into the lock, you must turn it, and you must walk through the door. Common mistakes people make, and how to avoid them. Let me warn you about 3 common mistakes people make when using this prayer, so you can avoid them. Mistake number 1. Saying the words without consciousness. This is the most common mistake. People recite the prayer like a robot, rushing through the words, not thinking about what they mean. This is useless. The power is not in the sounds, it's in the consciousness you bring to the sounds. Slow down. Mean every word. Feel every word. Mistake number 2. Praying without taking action. Some people think that if they just pray hard enough, God will magically fix their problems while they sit on the couch. This is not how it works. Prayer opens the door, but you must walk through it. After you pray, you must act. You must take steps toward your miracle. You must be a partner with God, not a passive recipient. Mistake number 3. Giving up too soon. Miracles don't always happen overnight. Sometimes the spiritual work takes time to manifest in the physical world. If you do this practice for a week and nothing happens, don't give up. Keep going. Trust the process. The seed is growing underground, even if you can't see it yet. Your 40-day miracle challenge. I want to challenge you to go beyond the 7-day challenge I mentioned earlier. I want you to commit to 40 days. 40 is a sacred number in the Torah. Moses was on the mountain for 40 days. The Israelites wandered for 40 years. Elijah fasted for 40 days. 40 is the number of transformation, of testing, of breakthrough. For 40 days, perform the 5-minute Ana B'Koach ritual every single day. Do not miss a day. Mark it on your calendar. Set a reminder on your phone. Make it non-negotiable. And here's the key. On day 40, I want you to do something bold. I want you to take a concrete action toward your miracle. If you've been praying for a financial breakthrough, on day 40, make a bold financial decision. Invest in yourself. Start that business. Ask for that raise. If you've been praying for healing, on day 40, schedule that doctor's appointment you've been avoiding. If you've been praying for a relationship, on day 40, reach out to that person. Why?